All right, man. We got Jared Goff. We got Jared Goff. He went to Jared Goff. He's pretty much talk about Drew Petzing, and I pretty much figured there are some shots being fired here from to John Morton. Um, I'm trying to cue it up now. I don't know, X always tripping, but thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, shout out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. And I feel like, I know for a fact, this had a lot to do with John Morton, right? Listening to what Brad Holmes said after what he said after in the post press conference, the season post or the postseason press conference he did, season wrap up. You just read between the lines, you can kind of see how they feel about John Morton, right? But let's go. I got the audio. Let's go.
He's been a coordinator previously, I believe 3 years, right? So he's got a great feel for what it's like to run an offense and to run a room and to how to balance volume with intentionally attacking a defense and trying to find yourself in the right plays. And it's hard, man. It's a lot more to it than just drawing up plays. And I think he's got that extra part to it, as well as the play stuff's great, the scheme's great. But the part that is outside of the X's and O's, I think he does a hell of a job with, and it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, he's been awesome, man. He really has. He's been great to work with. He's got a lot of his own ideas, and he's also very open to listening to everything that we want to do. And it's been a fun synergy between him and I, and our whole offensive staff, everything. It's been great. He's done a great job.
So, you got to read between the lines. It seemed like John Morton was lacking things. He says he's got a great feel for what it's like to run an offense and run a room and how to balance value intentionally. This is another quote he had. Intentionally attacking a defense. There are a lot more to it than just drawing up plays, and he's got that extra part to it. So, a lot of this, it kind of gives off attack. It gives off an attack, or I won't even. It's going to feel like an attack. I'm just going to use an attack. It feels like an attack towards John Morton. That's what it feels like. Attack towards John Morton. That's just what it is. They said they wanted somebody that was prepared. Remember, Brad Holmes said that in the season wrap up. We want somebody that's prepared. And this is the quote right here. This is on 97.1 The Ticket. He said it without manuscript. We want somebody that's prepared. He just said we want somebody that can, do more than just draw up plays. He's done it before. They've been raving about his work ethic. And Brad Holmes also said in the post-season press conference, they wanted somebody that was ready. He said that. Somebody that knew that had experience, that was prepared. And John Morton wasn't prepared for this. So, that's, Drew Petzing, part of him getting the job, it seemed like a prerequisite for the job was what? Being able to do it before. Being able to lead that side of the football. Being able to lead them in, doing more than drawing up plays, knowing how to execute, make adjustments, And I don't think the fluidity or listening to what they want was an issue with John Morton because, he came in, did a lot of stuff of what they wanted to do too. It's just to the fact that, he was ill prepared, and at the end of the day, that day, you study habits, you sloppy, you're not prepared, you're not on point with some of this stuff. And, and now you hearing some of the things they praising him for. And those are the things that John Morton was lacking. Those are exactly the things that John Morton was lacking. So, right now it sounds good. And, they kind of sounded confident in John Morton last year. It wasn't about what John Morton couldn't do because we didn't know what he couldn't do. It wasn't about what Ben Johnson didn't do. Ben Johnson did what he did. But now it's kind of like, okay, it's kind of about what we wasn't getting. And Drew Petzing seems to be bringing what we were not getting. He's bringing what we're not getting. We wasn't getting from John Morton. And not everybody is built to drive the bus. Even if, even if it's the short bus, it's the offensive bus. Everybody ain't meant to be a leader. Some people are meant to be a hype man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Some people are built to be an employee. Some people are built to be role players. You know what I'm saying? So everybody ain't built to be a superstar. But the problem is when we get people who think they should be leaders or they should be stars, knowing that they're not qualified, and they start hating or they start destroying people, you ain't qualified. You're not qualified. Be real with yourself. There's nothing with just being a team player, because without a critical team player, the team don't the team don't win. Everybody plays a key role. Think about a building. If something ain't right on the building, the foundation or the bricks ain't laid the right way or the plumbing off or something, that building can collapse and kill someone. Everything is key. The shingles, the nails in the shingles, the drywall, the everything, the structure of the building. If something as small as a nail is missing, that can be catastrophic. That can be truly catastrophic, bro. So everybody want to be, especially in the social media era, they want to be the star player. Sometimes you're just a good assistant OC. Sometimes you're just a good assistant head coach. Sometimes you're a good offensive coordinator. Sometimes you're a good defensive coordinator, co-coordinator. Sometimes you're a great offensive coordinator, but you ain't a great head coach. I mean, it's all in the game. But, and what everything I heard and I read in the research about this particular guy, I was excited. I was very excited from the things I heard and I read about, and people just, he didn't win and didn't do this and didn't do that, man. Shit. If you going to war, you going in the super soaker war, and they give you the dollar store hand super soakers, the little hand pistols, and they got the super soakers with the damn, remember they had the ones with the extra water pack, they will put the backpack on their back and they'd be shooting. I remember I went paintball. I was in Prattville, Alabama. I was in college now that way. We was in Prattville, and I was supposed to go to we was taking a trip on campus to the aquarium in Atlanta, right? And I, long story short, I didn't go, and my boys was like, well, we going to play paintball. These some military ninjas. I ain't really into none of that, but I'm like, cool, I ain't doing shit. Let's go play paintball. Man, we played against these little white kids in Prattville. Dog, we had standard paintballs. These kids had automatic rifles. They had tearing our ass out the frame. We was outside, by the way. That shit was crazy, so, everybody ain't equipped to have the ammunition or artillery to be the captain of the ship. But hey, let me know what you think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, find me on X, Facebook, Kit, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, wherever I'm at in the link in the description. They say find me everywhere. Find me.